right now. We're talking about how to book luxury hotels for free, which is one of the most fun things that I've been able to do because I do like staying nice places. And even better, I'm not going to pay for them with my own money because some of these places are $500, $600, $1,000 or more than that a night. And the crazy thing is you can do some pretty wild things to book them for free. And they're actually not that wild, to be honest. They're very simple things that you can do. But if you have a system that you use, and I'm going to show with you the system that I use, you can stay in some pretty incredible places all around the world. So how to book luxury hotels for free. In the end, I want to see you in these scenarios. So this is a photo. You can see it from last June 30th of last year, when I was done my work. I'm a high school teacher, and I was done work and I had my summer break and I went on a trip. And that trip was obviously for YouTube to film some videos. I filmed one video that was like a 100 versus $1,000 per night hotel room. Kind of the comparison. Is it worth it? Yes or no? You can check that video to make answer that question for yourself. And at the same time, I also stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, Toronto. And you can see that your rate per night is $. There's no number after that. Normally that was like between a $700 or an $800 room. And you can see right there, I've got it here because I know that there'll probably be some people that might not believe me that this is something that actually happened. I've got the key here, and I also have the Ritz-Carlton tag that says in residence. It's got my name, it's got the address, and on the back it says your rate per night is $. There's a zero, there's nothing there, right? So this is proof that it happens, because I always know that you need to validate what you're talking about if you're talking about something on the internet, because there's so many people that are out there faking this. And I've done this time after time. So my departure date was June 30th. And that was a beautiful stay in a great location, in a great city, in a great hotel. And I wish there was a way to understand who else was staying in that hotel, because the Ritz-Carlton is one of the nicest properties, one of the nicest hotels in the world. And this works for nice places like that. It works for other places like the St. Regis. It works for Marriott hotels, and it works for other branded hotels as well. I'm a big Marriott guy, and I'm going to show you some of the loyalty programs that I like, but I want you to know that you can create a system that works for you and for your needs. So that's how we started out. My goals during this presentation are to basically, number one, explain to you how to start travel hacking. Number two, tell you basically everything that you need to get started and to do it well. Number three, how to maximize it. Number four, how to travel in luxury, because that is something that is a lot of fun to be able to take advantage of. And it's way more fun when you're doing it and it doesn't cost you a single thing. Or in the case of my scenario 2 weekends ago, when I stayed at a luxury resort or a luxury hotel in my area, it cost me the parking fee. So it cost me $35 for the day, but I got a room that was about $650 free in value, and it was a beautiful room. That's my latest YouTube video. If you haven't seen that, I would definitely encourage you to look at that. So where have I gone in the last year? These are just a few of the places that I've gone in the last year. I have booked multiple stays. In fact, all the hotel stays that I've done in the last year, with the exception of one night in Montreal, have all been reserved through points. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about it. But some of the more luxurious stays that I've stayed at in the last year is the Mir Hotel in Halifax. This is without a doubt the nicest hotel in the Maritimes, the nicest hotel in Atlantic Canada. And it goes up against some of the big hotels in Montreal, in Ottawa, in Toronto, in Vancouver, all across the country. It is one of the best hotels. And one thing that I will say, if you're watching this in Canada, I'm going to give you a lot of tips. If you're watching this in the States, I'm going to give you a lot of tips just by sharing the system that I use that will work from you, wherever you're watching it, Canada, the US, or somewhere else in the world. I will just say, like, you should do your own homework to see what works best in your own country, because my audience is about 60% American viewers. about 30% Canadian viewers, and the rest is spread out throughout. So what I'm sharing with you today are specific examples to me and where I live. But at the same time, you're going to learn a lot from the tips and tricks that I use to be able to apply it into your own life. So definitely check that out. Muir Hotel in Halifax, highly recommend that, especially if you're travel hacking it. This is the Humanity Hotel in Montreal. That was somewhere I stayed last summer. This is, I had 2 nights at the Algonquin Resort. The Muir Hotel and the Algonquin Resort are both what are called Marriott Autograph Collection hotels, which are premium to luxury hotel stays. And I had 2 free nights in the executive suite at the Algonquin Resort in St. Andrews by the Sea, New Brunswick. And that was a lot of fun because I was able to bring a few people with me and we had this beautiful suite. So that is a video in itself. You're actually going to see these with the exception of the middle hotel, the one in Montreal. I did not film a video on that. That was just a time to get away, relax. I should have filmed a video on it, but you can't do that all the time. The Muir Hotel and the Free Suite Hotel both have videos up on my channel, as well as this one, how I booked the Ritz-Carlton in Toronto for free last summer. So these are some of the places that I've stayed at just in the last year that are more of the premium to luxury hotels, let alone all the other hotels that I've stayed at while I'm traveling, while I'm just in and out very quickly. Luxury hotels are personally where I want to use my rewards points. There's reasons for that. I might get into them, but if you've got any questions at all, drop them in the chat. So number 1, how to start travel hacking. I'm assuming, like our poll is suggesting, 86% of people know nothing when it comes to travel hacking. And I'm glad that you're here because I'm going to share it from that level. So number 1, you join a rewards program. Travel hacking is essentially based off rewards programs. And to answer the question that I've got from Joe Buck's Gym, is a credit card required to travel hack? Very first, let's start out with that. No. One of the first things that you can do is you can start travel hacking by joining a rewards program, and many of those are free. So we'll get into the credit card and how you can really take advantage of that very closely because there are benefits to doing that. But if you want to just start out travel hacking, join a rewards program. Maybe you can let me know in the chat some of the rewards programs that you are in, but there are rewards or loyalty programs for everything. There's rewards programs for gas, right? There's rewards programs for groceries. There's rewards programs for maybe stores that you shop at, flights and airlines that you might fly with, as well as hotels that you might stay at. So travel hacking happens in 2 ways. I would call it like a basic versus an expert stage. The basic would be the free. The expert is when you start leveraging some other things, whether it's a credit card or some different avenues to investigate to gain more rewards points fast. And this is where we're at. Join rewards programs, gas, groceries, stores, flights, hotels. It doesn't cost a thing to do that. So I'd encourage you to get into that right now. Some travel rewards programs that are out there. Number 1, related to flights. You've got Aeroplan. You've got Alaska Airlines, you have Delta Sky Miles, you've got American Airlines Advantage, you've got United Mileage Plus, you've got JetBlue, you've got Southwest, you've got Free Spirit, you've got Miles and More, you've got Emirates, you've got WestJet, you've got a bunch of different airlines. These are some of the ones that I've included that would be the major airlines, definitely a lot of them out of the US, hence our viewership, as well as Aeroplan in Canada, you've got WestJet, like I said. And there's some others with hotels, Marriott Bonvoy, Shangri-La Hotels, Hilton Honors, World of Hyatt, Wyndham Rewards, Best Western, Choice Privileges, IHG One Rewards, Sonesta, and more. So you can, to figure out what hotel programs or flight hotel programs, flight rewards programs are out there, just go do a quick Google search, right? Think about the hotels that are in your area. And I would encourage you to go do a quick Google search and just say, hey, I know that there's a Marriott down the street from me, or if I travel to Halifax, Toronto, Boston, New York, wherever I'm traveling, right? You know that there's a hotel there. Hey, I'm curious, do they have a rewards program? And what I'm going to tell you right now is most likely they do. And you should definitely be taking advantage of these things because they're free. As you stay there, you earn points. And then in the end, you can redeem those points for free flights and free hotels. That's at the base level. What I'm going to do is kind of step it up a notch. We're going to talk about that expert level that I described before. And then whether you decide that that basic free level or that expert level is right for you, at the very end of this presentation, we go through, I'm going to give you 16 things to think about that you can use to earn more travel rewards, right? These 16 things are really good and they're going to work for both scenarios. So let's jump into that. You earn points essentially for every dollar that you spend. So if I join a loyalty program for the Marriott Bonvoy program, right? Marriott hotels are one of the, well, it's the biggest hotel chain in the entire world. And there's many reasons why I chose that Marriott as like my primary hotel provider. Number one, when you stay at a Marriott hotel, you get to choose from so many different things. You get to choose from, do I want to stay at like the base level hotel? Do I want to stay at a luxury hotel? Do I want to stay at a hotel that really is more designed for longer term stays? If you're working somewhere and you're living there for 2 to 3 months, for example. Marriott is such a big provider of hotels that you've got plenty of choice for so many different things. When you do stay there, you earn points for every dollar that you spend. And usually that happens in a 1-to-1 ratio. We'll get back at that in just a second. You redeem them for free flights and for free hotels. And for most loyalty programs, you get 1 point per dollar. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Some things that I'm going to share with you later on in this presentation are going to show you how you can flip that and how you can use basically what I'm going to teach you into turning that into every dollar that you spend, turning into 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 points per dollar. And I call those points multipliers. So basically under most loyalty programs, you're going to have 100 points for every $100 that you spend. You're going to have 1,000 points for every $1,000 that you spend and 10,000 points for every $10,000 that you spend. Again, for most loyalty programs, if you're doing things at the basic level, okay? There are also credit cards rewards programs. Like I had a question that highlighted that. That question here is a credit card required to travel hack? And I've already answered that. The answer is no. I'm going to show you a bunch of great things that you can do in order to take advantage of that and better your chances of earning more points. But there are also credit card rewards programs. And to be honest, that's where the big rewards are. But it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to share a few things, number 2, that you need, in my opinion, to do travel hacking right. Yes, you can work through that basic travel hacking level where you sign up for a loyalty or a rewards program, where you shop, where you get gas, where you buy your groceries, where you stay in hotels, where you fly, where you shop online. There's so many different styles of rewards programs, but really, in my opinion, to do it right, you need 3 things. You need 3 things if you want to step up your travel hacking game and really have your points multiply very fast. Number 1, proven loyalty programs. Number 2, a credit card that you will use. And number 3, a plan. All right, so 3 things that if you want to step up your travel hack game, we've just gone over. Proven loyalty programs. You need to know what the best loyalty programs are for earning, but also for redeeming. I'm going to tell you that. You need a credit card that you will use if you want to step up your travel hacking game. I'm going to show you what I think are some of the best and also give you options that don't cost a lot versus some that do. And then you need a plan. Right? You need a plan, you need a system in order to use them properly. So my favorite rewards programs, number 1 is Marriott Bonvoy. Hotels, legendary. They've got a really good rewards program for earning points, but also redeeming points and also getting some benefits as a result of doing that. You also have Hilton. So Marriott Bonvoy and Hilton are kind of the big hotel programs that, in my opinion, are the best hotel programs. But like I said, there are 20, 30, 50 out there depending on where you live and where you can access hotels, where you travel, right? Those are the two big ones. Those are the two big ones that I'm involved in the most. You also have Avion Rewards, which is like a hotel, but also flights. Aeroplan kind of does the exact same thing with Air Canada vacations, as well as some flights, and American Express. Now, my favorite rewards programs get stepped up a notch, and we can talk about my favorite rewards programs, and these are indicated by the green check marks here. Marriott Bonvoy, Aeroplan, and American Express, without a doubt, are the three that I use the most. And there's a lot of reasons why those three rewards programs or loyalty programs are my favorite. Marriott, because again, they have such a wide selection that you can choose from, hotels around the world, everything from the base level that you can redeem for something like 20,000 points, right? A few weeks ago, I redeemed a free night at a hotel for 20,000 points. It was a brand new hotel. It was a week old, 20,000 points. It's incredible. And you can choose everything in between that. Aeroplan, it's the main airline that I fly. You can also book vacations through them. American Express, we're really going to target in on why I think American Express is great, whether you're in Canada or you're in the US as well. But even in Canada, it's a very good option. And in my opinion, the best loyalty program, depending on what your needs are, right? This is a timeout that I've got to take. I've got to say my favorite rewards programs might not be your favorite rewards programs, but by watching the rest of this live stream, you're going to be able to choose and understand which ones are right for you. And if you've got more questions, you can always send me a quick message, send me an email, and I'll do my best to kind of share some of those things. So these are my favorites. Understanding it works for me, might not work for you. How I select rewards credit cards, because we had that question, is a credit card required to travel hack? No, it's not, but it really allows you to step up your game. Chances are, if you're like most people that I know, you have at least one credit card. I am going to share a few credit cards with you that I've used to travel hack. I have 4. I'm not interested in adding any more. To some people, that seems like a lot. And at the same time, for travel hackers out there, there are people that I know that have 30 credit cards. And that's not something I encourage. That's not something that I would ever recommend to people. There are people that do that, and there's a whole roundabout way that they are able to earn insane amounts of credit card points. I've got 4 credit cards. They work for me. They work in a system. And so the 5 questions that I look at is, number 1, will I actually use it? Will I actually use this credit card, and will it not affect my spending habits? Because there's no point in just spending a lot of money on a credit card just to earn more points, because you're going to find yourself in financial trouble. And that's not what I want for anybody, especially when it comes to credit card interest, because the interest rates are just so high, right? Number 2, is there an annual fee? Is it a high annual fee or is it a low annual fee? And what I'm going to show you later on is probably going to surprise you that, in my opinion, the best credit card that you can get has a low annual fee. And you're like, what? What are the points multipliers? So understanding how you are able to earn points. Is there a spending bonus? And as well, can I use the rewards? Or how can I use the rewards, I should say. So those are the 5 questions that I sort of vet when I go through selecting a rewards credit card, if I want to step up into that more so intermediate to expert level of travel hacking. So I've used these questions to build what I currently have right now, a $700,000, I wish $700,000, a 700,000 point portfolio. So those are 700,000 loyalty points, where if I wanted to right now, I could take those points and book a vacation, flight, hotels, all that stuff, right? I've got 700,000 points across a variety of different loyalty programs that are basically waiting to be used. And my thing is, now I've been able to redeem those quite a bit in the last year. I've still been able to grow them. And what I'm doing as well is I've set my sights on that 1 million points portfolio. So I want to hit 1 million points. And then after I do that, I'm going to use it for a pretty epic trip. So these are what is in my credit card portfolio. Number one, this is my OG credit card, the original credit card, the credit card that I've had just because this bank was in my hometown, the RBC Avion Visa Infinite. So there's a few reasons looking at those 5 questions that I use to vet this stuff. Number one, this is a reliable credit card. It always works for me when I need to use it. And number one with that is the part about reliability is because this is the only Visa credit card that I have. And there's a reason for that because it's accepted most places. American Express isn't always accepted everywhere. So I would really encourage you to look at some of the places that you're shopping and see if they take Amex or American Express and see if they don't, right? Number one, it's reliable. Number two, is there an annual fee? With the RBC Avion Visa Infinite card, there is. It's $120, at least at the time of this video. So there is an annual fee, but you are able to earn what we're going to talk about in number 5, Avion rewards points. You earn 1 point for every dollar that you spend, which is basically that stereotypical, that normal points multiplier that you're going to see, 1 point for every dollar. And the answer for number 4 is yes, there is a spending bonus. Spending bonuses always change. They go up, they go down. I would encourage you to definitely do your homework when you're looking at a credit card. And number 5 is Avion rewards. You can use Avion rewards for free flights, free hotels. Sometimes, depending on where you redeem them, it can be quite a good deal. And sometimes, depending on where you redeem them, it can be maybe not a good deal at all. At least in the past few years, since COVID, I've really seen the value of Avion points and Avion rewards decline, in my opinion. So that's my OG credit card. My hotel credit card, anytime that I book a hotel, I use this card. It's my Marriott Amex card. It's something that I use every time I'm booking hotels. There is an annual fee. And this annual fee is really interesting because if you stay in a hotel for one night a year, you get that annual fee back and even more. I'm going to give you an example on that in just a second. Number 3, you get 5 times the points when you are spending money on a Marriott property. And then you also get 2 times the points as well, based on some other things. So definitely read the fine print with that stuff. There's a bonus of 80,000 points, and there is a bonus as well for Marriott Bonvoy rewards. You're able to earn that. There is a free night every year. And yes, there's an annual fee with this card, but like I said, if you stay in a hotel for one night a year, you're going to earn a free night. That free night is worth 35,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. And as a result of that, I've redeemed that a couple different places. The most notable one that I would say is I redeemed it for a room that was like $435. So if you do the math, you're going to be up quite a bit of money. You're basically getting a $435 hotel room for the price of your annual fee, $120. So that happens every year on your anniversary date. You can also combine that, like I just used 2 weeks ago, to stay in a luxury hotel, so that really that luxury hotel only cost me 11,000 points because I combined it with my free annual night, right? The Marriott card is one that I use. The favorite credit card that I have, the best credit card, the credit card that I recommend to people as well, is the American Express Cobalt card. This is a card specific to Canada, but if you're watching this in the US or somewhere else, you're going to be able to understand what to look for when you're selecting a credit card. So why is the Amex Cobalt card so good? Number one, it's my personal card. It's the card that I use basically every time I go through and pull a credit card out, which is probably 95% of the time that I'm making purchases. It has a low monthly fee. The monthly fee is $12.99. Compared to some of the credit cards that I or other people have, that's nothing, right? The low monthly fee really allows you to step into that expert to intermediate level of travel hacking because of point number 3, the points multipliers that you earn. 5 times the points on food for every dollar that you spend. 3 times the points on streaming for every dollar that you spend, 2 times the points on travel and gas for every dollar that you spend, and 1 times the point on everything else. So if I was using my Visa card that I talked about before, for every dollar I spend, $100, $10,000, even more than that, I get 1 point. But let's do that comparison. Let's say I spent $10,000 on the credit card for that year. With Visa Avion, I would get 10,000 Avion points. With the Amex Cobalt card, if I was spending $10,000 on food in that year, might be a lot for some people, it might not be, I would get 50,000 points. 50,000 points allows you to redeem your flights to the Caribbean and back, and then you have a little bit left over according to Amex's points schedule. So we can look at that at the end of this video as well. Keep on dropping the questions in the chat. I really appreciate that. And I'll kind of get some of that, the point redemption schedule up after. But the points multipliers is what makes this card, even with its low monthly fee, a winner, in my opinion. There is a bonus right now of 15,000 points, and you can use those with the Amex membership rewards program to redeem for free flights and free hotels. But I don't recommend that. What I recommend you do is you transfer those points, because you're going to get a better exchange in value. So what I mean is I take my Amex points that I've earned, I am going to transfer them to something like the Marriott Bonvoy program. And there are a number of different airlines and hotels that you can redeem Amex points or transfer Amex points to. And usually, and this is something a lot of people don't know, usually your points go further, because I could take 5,000 points, Amex points, and transfer them to or use them in my Amex portal to book a hotel or a flight, and that would be the equivalent of 5,000 points. Or I could take those 5,000 points and transfer them to Marriott Bonvoy, for example. And in Canada, those points are worth 6,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. So you're getting 1,000 more points just for transferring them out. This is the best card in Canada, and I guess this is probably a good time. We have one more credit card that I'm going to talk about before I give you the 16 tips and tricks. This is a good time to say that if you're interested in any of these credit cards, especially the Amex Cobalt card, I've left links down in the video description. These are affiliate links that help people. That's why I'm able to do this webinar for free and not charge an admission. If you're interested in learning more, go check those links out. You sign up using my link, then I would get a kickback. And I'm going to actually share how you can do that too later on. This is the highest earner. So I want you to understand the points last year. I made a video on this. It's called my Amex Cobalt 1-year review. It's in YouTube, obviously. But with my Cobalt card last year, I spent $26,000, which is, yes, a lot of money on that card. But I earned 120,000 Amex points. 120,000 Amex points just alone is a business class flight to Europe and back from where I live. And if I was to use those for individual trips, it's about 3 trips to the Caribbean and back, right? So 3 tickets to the Caribbean and back, or you're traveling in luxury and business class. More importantly, that 4.6 times average in my first year is what I earned. That points multiplier worked out to 4.6 times an average in my first year. I have not seen another credit card in Canada that can do that. So that is why I recommend the Amex Cobalt card, because of those insane points multipliers, right? Even if you're just spending a little bit of money on that card, it consistently compounds and grows every single month. So let's move into the last one I've got to talk about, my business credit card. It's the American Express. I should have changed that. It isn't the Cobalt card. That's the one I recommend. This is the American Express Business Platinum card. This is a card that I use, yes, personally a little bit, but more so for my business. It does have a high annual fee, but I actually think that's worth it. And I'm going to explain why in an upcoming video. But I actually think the Business Platinum card, if you have a business, is worth the annual fee. You earn 1.25 times the points for every dollar that you spend. It's got a sign-up bonus of 120,000 points, which is a huge sign-up bonus. But if you can earn that, you're going to be given a huge amount of credit card points. And just basically those people that I talked about before that are cycling through, they're signing up for a credit card, hitting a spending bonus, getting another credit card, and continuing that for 10, 20, 30 credit cards, which again, is not something I recommend to people. But those people that do that are able to stack up points super quick as a result of choosing cards like this. You can again use and redeem them in the Amex travel portal, or you can transfer them to other fees. And this credit card really has a lot of luxury benefits like airport lounge access. You get a bunch of free equipment from Dell and other companies. You get a $200 hotel credit that you're able to book a hotel with, and then you're refunded that money and numerous other things. But that's my business platinum card. Again, you need a simple plan. At the basic level, join loyalty and rewards programs. At that intermediate to expert level, you want to understand how you can leverage credit card rewards points to stack or multiply the money that you spend and the points that you earn. It's really simple. You can take 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do a little bit of research and think about how you're going to use your cards. I have 4, they work for me. And I honestly think if I added another credit card, which maybe I'll do sometime in the future, maybe I won't, I have no interest in that. And it's probably been a year and a half since I got my last credit card. You need to know how to use them. It would make it much more difficult for me if I added something else into this. So the 4 that I have, the Avion Visa Infinite card, basically I use this anytime I can't use an American Express card. The reason American Express cards aren't accepted everywhere is because for merchants or the people that own the stores or are selling things, they have almost double, I believe, the fee that something like Visa or MasterCard has. So that's why some places don't accept it everywhere. But basically, this is Old Faithful. It's reliable. It's the OG credit card I have. I use it anytime that I can't use my Amex. The Marriott Amex card, when I book and stay at hotels, specifically Marriott properties, my Business Platinum American Express is for business expenses that I use to buy supplies, that I use to put ads for my online business as well. And my Cobalt American Express is basically everywhere that I possibly can. And the reason I do that is because of those 5 times the points, food and groceries, 3 times the points on streaming, 2 times the points on travel, and 1 time the point on everything else. And if you look at where I spend my money, if you're a millennial, you might be the same, or if you have a similar lifestyle to me, your money is probably spent on food, travel, and obviously we could throw something like rent or mortgage in there. But we're going to talk about that in our 16 points. Number 3, how to maximize your points. And number 4, how to travel in luxury. So what I have for you is you want your points to go further. And basically, I want them to for you as well. I want to see you on trips that you've travel hacked, sending me photos, tagging me in that, because I know how much fun I have when I do that. And I want to see you, your friends, your family do it as well. So 16 things to think about. I'm going to go through this list. If questions come up, drop them in the chat for sure. We'll get back to some of those questions that I see maybe afterwards. So let's talk about number 1. Sign up for multiple rewards programs, but focus on a few. So number 1, I think you should sign up for multiple rewards programs and focus on a few. I am in Marriott Bonvoy, Hilton. I'm in the Shangri-La's hotel program. I'm in the Sutton Place hotel program, which is called RSVP Rewards. Those are like the hotel programs that I'm in. I'm in American Airlines for flights, Aeroplan, and WestJet. So sign up for multiple rewards programs because most of them, 99% of them that I know at least, are free. But you're really going to have your money and more specifically your points, and you're going to be able to earn and redeem more rewards when you focus on a few. So I have said for hotels, I'm a Marriott guy, right? Marriott is in my area. They have really nice stays and really nice experiences, and they've got a variety of different hotels from basic to luxury that I can choose from. So as a result of focusing on just staying in Marriott properties, at least when at all possible, my points go further. I also get other benefits as a result of the credit cards that I use and just focusing on those few loyalty programs that are like my main ones. Like and when I stay in a hotel, I get early check-in, I get late checkout. So I just stayed in a hotel for 24 hours, which if I was just a random person coming off the street, that probably wouldn't happen. You can earn things like free breakfast at certain places based off your status. You can earn other upgrades like bonus points when you check in based off your status. As I'm a gold elite member with Marriott Bonvoy, there's a bunch of different perks that you can get. You can get free upgrades when you check in. So when I am able to check into a hotel, I can pay for a regular priced room, but I'm able to get a free upgrade because I focused on a few and being loyal to a few loyalty programs, right? That's number one. Number two, create a system that's easy to use and then actually use it. And that ties into one of the questions that we had here, how to simplify travel hacking. There's so many loyalty programs. How do you narrow it down, or do you just try to do them all? So when I decided to look at the travel hacking programs I wanted to be involved in, well, I, number one, went online and I just said, yeah, like how to start travel hacking. When you start Googling things, when you search it up on YouTube, when you jump on a live stream like this, we'll go back to the slide that I showed you before. I showed you a list of probably 10 or 12 different hotel programs. And I've said that the Marriott Bonvoy and the Hilton programs are two of the best, right? So within those two, maybe I would challenge you to look at the area that you live, or if you don't stay in hotels in the area that you live, the areas that you travel to, and where are the hotels that you would like to stay in, where are the hotels that you would enjoy staying in, right? And then deciding if they have a loyalty program from there. I would also do like a comparison, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube. I don't have any, but there are other people out there that would compare the Marriott Bonvoy program to the Hilton Honors program or a different hotel chain, right? So maybe I'd do pros and cons. I would look at that and see basically maybe your goal is to, when you check into a hotel, get a free upgrade, right? And maybe that's offered with Marriott Bonvoy, but it's not offered with IHG. Right? So, okay, I want to get a free upgrade every time I check into a hotel. I'm therefore going to choose the Marriott Bonvoy program compared to IHG. Or maybe you don't care about that stuff. Maybe that's silly to you. Maybe you care about getting a free breakfast every time that you stay there, right? And another program might be able to give you that. So think about what your goals are. And that's really important to jumping into a travel hacking program or a loyalty program, because you want that program to fit you. You don't want to fit that program, right? Most importantly is you, your spending habits, your goals, your experience, right? So have that program that best fits you as the thing that you're going to move forward to. You can just try them all. You can just do them all, so that if I do have to stay at a Hilton, a few years ago, I stayed at a Hilton for like 2 nights. I've earned those points, right? So I do have a loyalty program, but the reality is those points might expire before I can ever use them, or I might just forget about them, right? Picking one and going super specific and being loyal to that program is going to help you earn points a lot more fast and get a lot more perks as a result of that. So thank you for that question. Create that system that's easy to use and then actually use it. Number 3, double dip rewards programs. And this is a term that I've coined when it comes to loyalty programs, reward programs. And by double dipping, I mean combining multiple loyalty programs and earning from each. So one of the ways that I do this is we can talk about booking hotels. Yes, when I book a hotel, I am booking it with my Marriott credit card. I'm also earning Marriott Bonvoy points as a result of doing that, but I can also earn American Express points when I do that. Or maybe a better example of double dipping, when I go to the grocery store and I pull out my Cobalt card. If I was just using my regular Visa card or whatever, I'd be earning 1 point for every dollar that I spend. We've already covered that. But with my Cobalt card, I would earn 5 times the points on food and groceries, which is insane to me. But then I would also combine it with whatever loyalty program that store offers. In Canada, some great stores are like PC Optimum or the Scene. That's okay in my opinion, but the PC Optimum for groceries and pharmacy and some gas places like Esso are really good. When you're going to get gas, I use my PC Optimum card when I fill up at Esso, and I also use my American Express card. So I'm earning 2 types of loyalty points within that same transaction. So look and shop at ways where you can double dip those loyalty programs. Volunteer to pay for things. Volunteer to be the one that organizes trips. And then as a result, if you're going with people that you trust and are going to pay you back, they'll pay you. So volunteer to pay for things. I can think of something like my girlfriend is an artist. She buys a lot of paint, and she's just putting it on paying with cash or credit card. It doesn't really matter to her. But for me, I'm seeing that as a, whoa, you're spending a lot of money annually every single year. We should at least be taking those and earning rewards points as a result of that. Right? So you can step in, do that exchange. That's an easy way for you to earn more points. Organize trips. We went on a trip to Montreal. We went on a trip to Quebec City. There's plenty of different ways. If you're the person that can take care of everything, hey, I'll organize, I'll pay for everything. You just give me what you owe me. You're going to be able to earn more points, obviously with people that you trust and their word is true. They're going to pay you back. Become an affiliate. Now, this is really exciting because that's essentially what I've done in this video. This video is giving you education, awareness about how to travel hack, and you're going to be able to get started with it. But at the same time, which costs you nothing, you get all of this experience if I've convinced you, if I've shown you how travel hacking works, and if you're interested, then I've left affiliate links down in the video description. And essentially that is a link where I've said, and you can look right now, like check out the Amex Cobalt card, which is the best credit card in Canada. If you click through using the link that I've given you and you sign up with my link, then you get a bonus, you get a good deal on that credit card. But at the same time, American Express says, thank you for me to refer you. And they give me 5,000, 10,000 points, depending on basically the deal that's out there at the time. I will say the best deal that I've seen lately, at least for quite a few months, is happening right now until March 4th. So you can look into that if you're curious, but you can also earn affiliate points or Amex points or whatever the program is by being an affiliate and sharing it with your friends and your family. If you have a YouTube or an Instagram or a TikTok audience, you can share it with your followers as well. And when they sign up, you're able to earn points as a result. Number 6, buy gift cards when you can't use credit cards. And this is probably a controversial one. This honestly is something that I have never done for this purpose. We're going to talk about something next, what I will share with you. But I've never bought gift cards when I can't use a credit card. So for example, there's some stores that don't take American Express or only take MasterCard or whatever the provider is, right? You could, and there's plenty of people that do this, but I will hesitate if you do it very frequently. I've heard horror stories of different credit card companies canceling your account. But you can buy gift cards when you can't use credit cards in order to get the points on those gift cards. But sometimes certain credit card providers don't always honor the points that are purchased on gift cards. So I just stay away from it because there's too much that could go wrong. But that's something that some people I see on online forums and Facebook groups and stuff like that for people that are interested in travel hacking and credit cards. Some people do take advantage of. What I do, though, is I will buy gifts for people if I really want to give an experience. I've done this not because I earn credit card points on them, but because I really enjoy giving people experiences, whether that's a hotel stay or another type of experience. So I have bought gift cards for people as a gift, right? So I want to be transparent there. If I was to buy a gift card at a Marriott property, which I've done for numerous people, you can earn those points on the gift cards as well. So it's even better depending on what card you use. Number 8, this is one that I love, setting up auto payments and bills, because I know that with my business platinum card, I am able to earn 1.25 times the points, and that is going to compound over time as I'm paying for things like my internet or my electricity or my whatever bill you have, whatever bill you have in your life, streaming services, all that stuff, setting up auto payment things so that you don't even have to manage that and you don't have to control that. That can pay off for you Transfer points if possible. So when you're going to redeem your points, your money and your points are going to go a lot further if you don't redeem them within the portal. But if you can transfer them, oftentimes, like I talked about before, there are better benefits because Marriott and American Express, at least in Canada, have that relationship that they say 5,000 Amex points is actually worth 6,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. So you get a bonus 1,000 points just for transferring it. And I've done a video on that. Of course, I seem to do videos on almost everything. But in that video, that transfer for me, it says will take like 24 hours. That transfer for me was basically instant. All right. Book in off-season times, right? If you're looking at making your points go further and you compare hotel prices in the winter compared to the summer or off-season times, it's almost like night and day. And to be honest, it's scary. But when you're redeeming points, that does happen as well. So book in off-season times, and you can also use flexible times as well. When you're booking, you're able to bring up a point schedule. And if you select off-season times, or maybe if you select my dates are flexible, is how they say it on Marriott Bonvoy, then you're actually going to see a point redemption chart. And I was looking at the Ritz-Carlton in Toronto just this week for the sake of this video to explain this. And I think it was like for one night at the Ritz-Carlton was 120,000 points one night. And then the next night was like 90,000 or 85,000 points, right? So that's a huge difference of 30, 25, 35,000 points based off just within that day. So if you can book in off-season times or maybe during the middle of the week compared to the weekends, your points are going to go further. Travel to secondary destinations. If you are traveling in an area that people want to go to at super high rates, like Times Square in New York, as an example, right? Well, they can basically set the price and people are going to pay that no matter what, right? So travel to secondary destinations might get you as good or an even better experience, especially for the value of your points. Something to think about. Search for flexible dates, like I said before, to see the redemption schedule. And not all loyalty programs allow you to do this, but for another reason why I like Marriott Bonvoy so much is when you bring up that date selection of your stay, when you check in, check out, you can actually select a little box that says my dates are flexible, and it's going to show you when the best schedule for you to redeem your points actually is. And for me as a consumer, as a person using these points, I really appreciate the flexibility, but also just the transparency, right? I want my points to go as far as possible, and they're not trying to fleece me or pull the wool over my eyes. Number 13, this is one that I have not done. I've thought about it, but I've not done. Ask for a retention offer. This is something that typically, from what I've read in forums, works best when you've been with a company for multiple years, or you've definitely spent a lot of money on a specific credit card. And basically that's the old bluff of, hey, I'm going to go to a different company. I'm going to take all my money, all my spending to a different company. What do you think about that? And your goal with that is the fact that American Express or RBC or TD or CIBC, somebody is going to say, hey, no, we value as a customer. We're going to give you an extra 50, 100,000 points for you to stay. So just from doing nothing, just from sort of calling that bluff, you're going to be able to get a bunch of points added there just from a retention offer. Again, I don't do that because I am worried that something bad would happen with that. Or they'd say, good luck, you're on your own anyway. And then they wouldn't call my bluff. And I'd be kind of souring a good relationship that I have with my financial providers, right? So that's why I don't do it. Pay rent with a credit card. And this is a huge hack that I've done. This is the second month that I've done, but basically now I'm paying my rent with my credit card. And in Canada, this works with a service. My next 2-3 videos is actually going to be about how I've been paying my rent with a credit card. Chexy is the service if you want to kind of tease that and look into that a little bit on your own. But it's something that now all of a sudden that's a purchase, or that's a bill that I have to make payments on every single month. I've got to pay it every single month, basically, over the course of 12 months, over the course of multiple years. So I am finally earning credit card rewards points on that as a result of doing it, right? So paying your rent with a credit card, definitely keep an eye out for a future video because I'm not missing that one. Basically what happens is your credit card gets billed a few days before your rent is due. Your landlord isn't even, like, nothing changes for your landlord. The day of your rent being due, Chexi as a company sends that e-transfer, just as my landlord would always receive my rent. And for him, it looks absolutely no different. There's a slight fee to that. It's 1.75%. But as a result of earning credit card points all throughout the months, throughout the years, for me, the math was mathing, and it's definitely worth it. Number 15, pay your taxes with a credit card. And this is an important one. I've done this, and I actually got my big credit card bonus when I first got my American Express business card, 120,000 bonus points as a result of paying my taxes, because my taxes were so high that year with my business that I was able to pay that entire and hit that entire spending bonus, and I got all those points added to me. So there's different services to pay your taxes with your credit card. I do have a video on that on my channel, but what I will say is always use the official provider that your tax agency gives you, whether that's the IRS or the CRA or wherever you are. Go onto their website. And for example, I used Plastic a few years ago to pay my taxes off to the CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, which was an official provider. By doing that, it was all set up. It went beautifully, right? I earned points and I got my spending bonus on that transaction. There is Plastic in Canada is no longer available they've no longer partnered with the CRA in order to do this. But there is one, at least last year, there's one, Pay Simply. I haven't looked into it this year, but I have looked, and there are some official credit card payment platforms that are used through the American IRS tax agency as well. So definitely look into that based off the official websites and your official tax agencies, because that can be a huge hack if you're paying down a couple $1,000, or you've got a big business that's super successful, you've got $100,000 that you need to pay in taxes, right? Why not earn credit card points on those? Number 16, target credit cards with big sign-up bonuses. This can be an extremely valuable strategy for people that are looking to earn a lot of points fast, who are looking to earn points after points after points, and don't mind growing their credit card portfolio to 7, 8, 9, 10 or more credit cards. Again, that's not my style. I've got a system that works extremely well, and I use that system. But if you target credit cards with big spending bonuses, you're probably going to have a large annual fee, but with that, you got to pay to play sometimes, right? So in this scenario, you're going to get those big sign-up bonuses with the high annual fees, and that can be worth it, especially if you have that system well. So these are 16 things to think about. Number 1, sign up for multiple rewards programs, but focus on a few. Create a system that is easy to use and actually use it. Double dip rewards programs. Volunteer to pay for things, organize trips, etc. Become an affiliate. Buy gift cards when you can't use credit cards. Buy gifts for people. Set up auto payments and bills. Transfer points if possible. Book in off-season dimes, whether that's in the season or the day. Throughout the week, travel to secondary destinations, search for flexible dates to see redemption schedule, ask for a retention offer, pay rent with a credit card, pay taxes with a credit card, and target credit cards with big sign-up bonuses. There are many more things that we could talk about here. These are 16 things to think about that I think shouldn't overwhelm you. But if you wanted to take a photo of that list, look at that so you can start looking into these things one by one, so that you can watch YouTube videos, so that you can talk to somebody, so that you can send me a message and you can say, hey, how do I become an affiliate for American Express? I've just signed up with the Cobalt card and it's awesome. These points multipliers are insane. I'm gaining lots of points, but how do I become an affiliate so I can share and earn points from my friends and my family, from my audience, right? 16 things to think about. Honestly, travel hacking, luxury travel experiences isn't that hard. I hope that this seminar, this webinar explained that to you. It's something that you can do and you can start to